Hey guys, this is Miss Tart, and this week we're going to be working on standard RI 5.1, which is using text evidence to prove your answer. So text evidence is proof in the text that tells you exactly what it's reading. It's a direct quote from the text. And you can use the quote to support your answer or to prove that it's correct. So you want text evidence to prove that you know the answer that you're picking is absolutely 100% correct because you found proof in the text. So there's two different types of questions that you may see on any type of reading test. One type of question is a right there question. It's where the question is asking for information that you can find exactly there in the text. Like this question, who does Kayla love to visit in the summer? So let's look at the text and see. The summer months are always hot in Texas. Kayla likes to play in her pool and eat ice cream. She also loves to visit with her aunt during the summer. So that is a direct question. It's a right there question. It's asking, who does Kayla love to visit in the summer? It says right here. The text says she also loves to visit her aunt during the summer. So that was an easy question because, again, you can find it right there in the text. Some other types of questions are where you can find the information in the text, but you do have to put some clues together. Like this one, what season is it in the story? So let's look. After waiting up all night, hoping that school might be canceled, Anna hit snooze when her alarm went off. She had to quickly get ready, but was running late. Before Anna could run out the door, she had to put on her coat, scarf, and mittens. So using text evidence, we can prove that this was during winter time. The text said she had to put on her coat, scarf, and mittens. Well, that would suggest that it's cold outside. The text also says that she stayed up all night hoping that school might be canceled, and I think this is because there was a snowstorm. So when you are providing proof from question, you want to first restate the question. So the season of this story is. Next, you want to answer the question, winter. And then finally, you want to prove it. So whenever we're looking at questions this week, we're going to think wrap. First, restate the question, answer the question, and then prove it. So altogether, we could say the season of this story is winter, and the text says that she had to put on a coat, scarf, and mittens to suggest it's cold outside. It also said that she stayed up all night hoping the school might be canceled. I think this is because of a snowstorm. So with this last one, you're really giving details from the text, saying exactly what the text said and how you know it. You're telling the reader how you know that that is the correct answer. So let's look at some more. Select one partner to wrap first, and then the second partner will try the next story. We're just going to try this one together. Today is my teacher's birthday. I decided to write her a card and bring her yellow daisies. When I got to school, she was so thankful for the gift. She gave me a big hug and wrote a lovely thank you note. So the question is, what kind of flower did she give her teacher? So this would be an easy question. It's right there in the text. It says right here, yellow daisies. So we could say, restate the question. The kind of question was a daisy because the text says that she wrote her teacher a card and brought her yellow daisies. Okay, the next question. My days are very busy. Each morning I wake up and help my dad prepare breakfast. Then I have to ride my bike to school and learn all day. After school, I have karate class and my babysitter picks me up. When I get home, I have to do all my homework and all my chores. By the end of the day, I'm exhausted. What does the boy do after school? So this is, again, an easy question. We look right at the text, after school. So we restate the question. After school, the boy goes to karate class, and then he does his homework and chores. So I restated the question, answered the question, and proves it. It's right there in the text. So let's look at some types of worksheets that you're going to be doing this week. So today is Tuesday. You're also going to be doing one of these independently today, another on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So it's really important that you pay close attention right now so you can see how to do the work. Again, we're practicing finding text evidence and proving our answer. So there's some things that we're going to have to do with that. So this passage is all about Egyptian pyramids. The Egyptian pyramids are ancient structures in Egypt. Currently, there are between 113 and 138 identified pyramids. These were built as tombs for pharaohs. The most famous Egyptian pyramids are at Giza. Giza is on the outskirts of Cairo. The pyramids of Giza are the largest structures ever built. The Pyramid of Khufu is one of the seven wonders of the ancient world. In the early dynastic period, people who were wealthy were buried in mastabas. Mastabas were regular tombs. The tombs were made of mud bricks. I'm hoping, again, guys, I may not be getting this right. An architect came up with the idea of stacking mastabas on top of each other. This created steps that got smaller towards the top. He designed the first pyramid, the Pyramid of Djoser. This pyramid was meant to be a large stairway for the pharaoh Djoser sent to the heavens. While the main purpose of pyramids was to be burial monuments, there were principles that went into their creation. A narrow shaft extending from the main burial chambers points directly towards the center of the sky. It is thought that these pyramids were designed to send the descended pharaoh's soul into the sky. All Egyptian pyramids were built on the west bank of the Nile River. The west bank of the Nile River is where the sun sets, and it is associated with the dead in Egyptian myths. For a long time, the construction of these huge structures was a mystery. Very large amounts of stone need to be moved. Herodotus, an ancient Greek historian, once described the pyramids' builders as slaves. This created a myth that was perpetrated by movies. Archaeologists have compiled evidence that shows that the workers were paid. They were also well respected. Those who died during construction were honored by being buried in the tomb near sacred pyramids of their pharaohs. In 2013, archaeologist Pierre Tallet discovered the journal of an Egyptian who was involved in transporting limestone along the Nile River. This revealed how the Great Pyramid of Giza was constructed. Many pyramids are now in poor states. They are not well preserved. Some are buried by desert sands. Some only appear as mounds of rubble. Archaeologists are working to preserve them. They are continuing to find and study pyramids. So our first question is, what is the purpose of pyramids? And if you notice right here, there's a little crayon that says red. So what we're going to be doing is we are going to be highlighting the text where we find the answer of what the purpose of pyramids were. So to do that, you can select your your pen tool, and you click red. So again, we're looking for the part where it says, what was the purpose of pyramids? So here we have the answer. The main purpose of pyramids was to be burial monuments. So we can go back to our question. They were constructed to be tombs for pharaohs. All right, the next one. Explain how Imhotep came up with the idea and design for pyramids, and they want this in orange. So we're trying to find where Imhotep came up with the idea and design for pyramids. So here we have it. Imhotep, an architect, came up with the idea of stacking mastabas on top of each other. This created the steps that got smaller towards the top. He designed the first pyramid, the Pyramid of Djoser. This pyramid was meant to be a large stairway for the pharaoh Djoser to descend to the heavens. So again, the question was asking how Imhotep came up with the idea and design for pyramids. He came up with the idea of pyramids by stacking mastabas on top of each other. So remember, we're going to use that wrap form. First, restate the question. So the question is asking how he came up with it. Imhotep came up with the idea by, now answer it, stacking mastabas on top of each other. And we have highlighted our text orange. All right, next question. Why were the pyramids constructed on the west bank of the Nile? Choose all that apply. Our options are the west bank of the Nile had cleared land, The west bank of the Nile was closest to Cairo. The west side of the bank is where the sun sets. The west bank of the Nile is associated with dead European Egyptian myths. So we're going to highlight that in yellow. Why did they bury them on the west side of the Nile? So again, to change the color, you're going to hit this button right here. Click yellow. The west bank of the Nile is where the sun sets. It is associated with the dead in Egyptian myths. So because we found that, we know that the answer would be C and D. Number 4, what myth about the pyramids were constructed were archaeologists able to bust, and color that in green? So I remember in the last paragraph, next to last, Herodotus, an ancient Greek historian, described the pyramid believers as slaves. This created a myth that was perpetrated by the movies. Archaeologists have compiled evidence that shows that the workers were paid. So that is the myth. The myth was that they were slaves, and archaeologists were able to prove that they were actually well expected. So again, I'm going to restate my question. You need to go back to typing. You can press the icon right there. Well, I'm having some difficulty. Oh, here we go. Myth was that slaves built the pyramids archaeologists were able to prove that they were paid and well respected. Notice for each question, we are restating the question, answering the question, and we're also highlighting the text where we got it. So when I see your papers this week, I should see all these different sentences highlighted, and I'll be checking to make sure that you highlighted the correct thing. And it's all about practicing going back in the text and finding the answers. What did archaeologist Pierre Tablet discover? And we're going to highlight that blue. So let's go back and see what he discovered. Pierre Tablet. I believe that said blue. Yep. Okay, so we're going to change our color to blue. There's a couple different options. It doesn't matter which one. In 2013, archaeologist Pierre Tablet discovered the journal of an Egyptian who was involved in transporting limestone during the Nile River. This revealed how the Great Pyramid of Giza was constructed. I'm going to go back to my select tool so I can go down. He discovered the purpose. He discovered the workers that built the pyramids were slaves. He discovered the journal of Egyptian who is involved in transporting limestone, so that one. And that also led to how they discovered the Great Pyramid of Giza was constructed. So again, I have answered the question and I highlighted my proof in blue. All right, guys, that's all we're going to do today. So we are going to be doing some of these passages each day of the week. And again, it's really important that when you have a short answer, you're restating the question and you're providing your answer. And then I'm also going to be ensuring that you color your evidence in the text. If you do not do so, then that's going to take off of your grade. So you have to answer your questions and you have to highlight with your text evidence. Remember to highlight, you can change the color by clicking this button and then clicking the highlight button. And then if you need to go back to typing, you can press this cursor icon. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you have a great day.